The following is a presentation of the Black Hollywood Live Network, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. Hollywood Redefined. From Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is Black Hollywood Live. Let's talk about sex. Featuring in-depth discussions on dating, intimacy, and relationships. Black Hollywood Live. Hollywood Redefined.
You're listening to Black Hollywood Live.
And now, the host of Black Hollywood Live, let's talk about sex.
Come on.
Come on.
Come on. It's low, it's low.
I know, I'm about to say, I gotta turn this up one time.
Things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about sex. Turn it down, turn it down.
Oh, turn it down, turn it down.
Oh, that
Tell me,
is
is it good?
Yeah.
There we go.
Let's talk about
Yes.
sex.
Sing it.
We are back for another exciting, sexy, tantalizing episode of BHL's Let's Talk About Sex, you guys. I am your host, Spicy Madi, and joining me here in the studio today is the beautiful Phoenix White. Welcome her back.
Welcome back.
I'm back. I'm happy to be back.
We missed you.
we
missed
I
you.
missed you guys too.
Yeah.
And we also have the phenomenal, the funny, Kevin John.
Thank you, Spot. Thank.
I was going to say the Kevin John, but that's your Twitter.
Yeah, that's
And
well.
your
Actually,
Instagram.
the Twitter is Hey Kevin John.
Hey, Kevin John.
But you're close enough.
Hey, and the. Hey.
Thank you for that intro, though. That was a great intro.
Hey girl, hey.
I try to do it like a sports announcer, Kevin John, but you know.
I think your voice is a little too sexy to be a sports announcer.
Oh, my voice is sexy. Thanks, guys.
I'll take it.
Well, today we have a really special episode in store for you on Let's Talk About Sex. You guys know how we do it. We always tell you the good, the bad, the ugly. I mean,
The sexy.
The sexy. Everybody's doing it. So here on Let's Talk About Sex, we're talking about it, okay? We have a special guest that's coming up in store. Gloria Govan. You guys know her from Basketball Wives. She's Matt Barnes' wife. She is beautiful. She just came out with a book that we're celebrating because she's a Blaxican and she can write and she's cute too. She has a lot going on. A
Total
mother
package.
and a wife. She is. So we're very excited to have her in the studio. So you guys look forward to that. Stay tuned so you can check her out in just a second. We'll give you an update on her life. But you know we always start off the show with Hollywood hotties doing the naughty because you know you want to know who in Hollywood is having sex right now.
I do.
So my favorite actress in the world and my Hollywood hunk, Eva Mendes and
So
Ryan
bored.
Gosling.
He's so silly.
I thought I was gonna marry Eva. I did. I've been attracted to her since like Hitch. Actually, prior to Hitch, since like I don't know that movie she did that was weird with Mark Wahlberg, like in '92 or whatever.
Yeah.
But anyways, I've been in love with this woman forever, so this is sad. Go ahead, Spicy.
Eva is phenomenal. She's a great actress. She's models also for Calvin
Yeah.
Klein. She has a beautiful physique, and now she has a bun in the oven.
She does.
And you know, People magazine was saying they're surprised at how long she was able to keep it under wraps. She kept it a secret for a very long time. I feel betrayed because I'm a huge fan and I didn't even know that she was pregnant.
How many months is she?
She's 5 months now.
But think about it. Kerry Washington kind of kept hers on the low for
She did.
until like the 6 or 7. I didn't even know, and then it was boom, you know, and then
And they were doing like cut shots, for
Yes.
Scandal.
Yes.
I remember
Yeah.
that.
So obvious,
I'm like,
though.
wait, why do we ever see her standing up?
Right.
Why is she always in a big like moo-moo? But Eva Mendes, you know, she still looks great. She looks phenomenal. You know, she has one of the most sexiest guys in the world who impregnated her. What, Ryan?
I think he's way overrated. And I mean, I'm straight, and you know I don't judge dudes, but I don't get. Look at this dude. He looks like a Harvard.
I think he's an amazing actor. I
Let me
really
tell
do
you
like
this.
him as an
Everybody
actor.
who ever watched The Notebook, I know you guys feel me on this. He is so phenomenal. He was so romantic. I
So
mean,
you're in love with the character.
I'm in love with the character. I'm gonna say I'm in love with the
Good
character.
point.
But then
Good point.
I fell in love with him all over again on Crazy Stupid Love. You guys watched that movie?
I didn't watch it.
no.
I had better things to do. Now, The Notebook was a great movie, though. I'm not gonna lie. I
haven't seen it yet.
Every girlfriend I've had has wanted to watch that movie together.
You've never seen The Notebook?
No.
Okay, that's a sin.
That's blasphemy.
That is a
Really?
crime.
What do you guys mean?
That is relationship blasphemy. You know that every love expert
Okay,
needs to
I
see
will
that
go
movie.
home and I will look online. I'll see if I can find a copy of The Notebook.
That's like a sci-fi fan never watching Star Wars or something. You know, it's that serious.
Okay,
But it's okay,
I'll find it. I'll
Phoenix.
find it. I'll find it on
We'll
on
give you a
demand.
pass.
Maybe it'll be on demand.
Well, if you're going to be a life coach, you know, this is like a part of life. This is part of
The
every
Notebook
day.
is not a part of life.
Phoenix, the Notebook.
Not.
Do you understand?
I think it's a relationship for people who are doing relationship coaching. Should watch The Notebook. Not I.
First of all, I don't really think you should gain any kind of education from movies unless it's based on a true story.
Not true though.
Well, sometimes, yeah,
They
that
have
is
some
true.
Great messages. In
I
those
learned a
things.
lot
love
from that
them.
movie Next Friday.
I'm going to bring
Go
us
ahead.
back to sex. Because if you know Kevin, he'll be talking about the Lakers in a little bit.
So wrong.
Swaggy P.
Back to the show at hand. And Kevin, can you turn my volume down just a little
I'm
bit?
sorry.
Okay.
Is it?
Thank you.
Oh wait, you turned mine off.
Oh, I did. Okay.
Right there, perfect. Okay,
Am I hitting the spot?
a little bit harder, a little
Little
bit
to the
higher,
right?
a little bit back up.
Y'all are
Is that true?
crazy. I missed you guys.
So you guys, back to the topic at hand. We want to always keep it, you know, nice and hot and sexy. But in the relationship with Ryan and Eva, they're not married yet. They obviously have been having sex outside of marriage, like most Americans do nowadays.
Right.
But she's pregnant with this child. Now, this has become something that I feel like has really become socially acceptable in Hollywood. How do you guys feel about that? Do you think that you need to put a ring on it, or do you think that it's cool and, you know, the hip thing to do now to just have babies out of wedlock?
I mean, everybody has their own perception of what is socially acceptable. You know, like some people don't think of wedlock. They don't care about getting married. Some people do.
Yeah.
So some people, it works. Some people are married and they're miserable. Some people aren't and they're incredibly happy. So I think whatever works for that person works for that person. And they've been on and off again for a really long time.
Yeah.
Like really long time.
Yeah, no, that's a really good question, Spice. And kind of to piggyback on Phoenix, yes, you know, not every couple in Hollywood believes in marriage. You know, not every couple in Hollywood believes in a lot of things. But, it's their prerogative to do whatever they want and to go about it, which prerogative can do what I want to do. Fornicate with my boo. Anyways, whatever. But anyways, no, I honestly, I don't have a problem with it. Like, I think the main thing is that when you are a celebrity, a lot of times you get pressure from the outside to live your life in a way that is exemplary and, you know, in a way that brings honor. But at the end of the day, these are, just because they're celebrities, they're people and they're a reflection of society, just like society. How many people in society have babies out of wedlock and things of that sort? So I think they're unfairly scrutinized because of their star power. But I just wish I could have got to Eva first. I'm really upset about that.
You know what? I agree with you saying. And also I found that a lot of celebrities get married and then it comes out, oh, I'm 5 months pregnant. And they just got married like a month or two ago.
Right.
So it's like they're getting married so that it will look better
Exactly.
socially, you know, and so I've seen a lot of that. It's
Brandy
kind of like,
Norwood did that actually about 10
But hers
years.
was a mess.
That
She didn't even
was
really get married. That was so fake.
That was the worst. And she came out and admitted it several years later, but it was the same kind of thing. You know, she was always known as just wholesome, good, perfect girl, you know.
Kelly Rowland just did the same thing. Like, she just got married and she's, what?
Kelly Rowland's married?
Kelly Rowland is pregnant?
She's hella pregnant. Are you kidding
I
me?
don't
Like,
like seen
she's
any
huge.
photos. I didn't know that.
I didn't even know Kelly Rowland was still alive.
Kelly Rowland just got married
so-
and she's pregnant. She's like 5 months.
Oh,
She's
congratulations,
huge.
Kelly.
Like, you can see it.
Oh,
But she just got married and then it came out.
Who's the baby daddy?
I think it was her manager.
Oh, okay. Well, at least she found love, because I know she was looking at it for a long time on Lala's full court basketball life.
That is right.
I didn't see that.
She was trying to hook her up with someone on that show. I remember that. But what do you guys think as far as, you know, you get pregnant, you've been with this person for a while, should you get married? I mean, should you just stay in a relationship with him, or should you actually, you know, walk down the aisle? Because once again, you know, the child is going to be born into, you know, a single parent home if the father's not in the picture.
Not necessarily. Like, I think people should get married because they want to be married and they want to spend the rest of their life with that person, not because they are having a baby.
So
I think a
stay
lot
parents.
of people, people can make amazing parents and not be together. Like, I've seen it time and time again, and I've seen parents who are married and one of the parents don't even see the child barely. They operate on autopilot. So I think people should get married for the right reasons, not get married because of the fact that they have a child in the picture. I think that's the wrong reason to get married. And that's the reason why people get divorced a lot too.
Speak on it. So yeah, I agree with you. Now, however, I will say this, and it may sound a little crazy, but then again, 50% of what I say is crazy. So, you know, I think that the reason why I think it's good for them to consider marriage if there is a child is because A, it gives a child a solid home to grow up in, and B, because there's going to be rough times. Like in every relationship, there's rough times. When you have two people together that are married, it makes it a lot more difficult for them to split and say, whatever, give it up, and all of that. Because of that binding agreement or covenant, whatever you want to call it, I think that they would be more apt to at least try to make things work, stay together for the sake of the children and things of that sort. So that is where I will say marriage may be advantageous to a situation like that.
But is the covenant as respected now in 2014?
Well, obviously not with a 51% divorce rate,
But do you understand but that's what the perspective that I'm trying to come from. I think that getting married, I want to get married. I want to have a family. I want, all that. I do.
Seriously, Phoenix? I want to get married too.
No, but I'm just saying, like, people who want to get married for the right reasons, because I was a child whose parents got divorced, who I was in that happy, parents got married before they had me, and the divorce was harder. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, because my parents didn't want to be together anymore.
How old were you when they got divorced?
I want to say it started when I was about 7 or 8. They started having drama.
And those are the most important years too. Is when you're
so
that
it was
young.
a lot of that going back and forth. So a lot of my time was spent going back and forth from different parents' houses, but it was because of their fight. So as they fought, we got shipped over to my dad's house, or we sent them back to my mom's house, depending on how they felt or who, what was the argument at the time. So that is not healthy either. So I'd rather, be in a situation where those two people have an agreement. You're going to be with me during the week. You're going to be with me on the weekend and the holidays, or vice versa, whatever. And we can all go out to dinner together. We can all hang out together. We don't hate each other, but we're going to go and operate as a family, even though we're not.
Now,
My son's got
what about it when it's on the flip side? Now, that's an example of two people who got married who weren't in love with each other, that wind up, staying together and then eventually separating for you guys. What about when you want the person to marry you and they won't marry you? Should you stay in a relationship with them hoping that they'll eventually put a ring on it?
What if you're saying you already have a kid with them?
You have kids with them and you're in love with them, but they haven't proposed to you yet or they haven't put a ring on it. Do you stay with them even after the fact? After you have the kids and they haven't put a ring on it, and one of them wants to get married and the other person's not ready yet.
First of all, I think that's a conversation that should have been had prior to the kids.
But a lot of times it's not.
I mean, if you're just out having casual sex or, or if you're in a casual relationship and you knock somebody up, then it's like, okay, at the end of the day, I don't really think that there's, at the end of, I don't think that person who doesn't want to propose should be prosecuted for it, because that's just casual sex. I think you as a woman or as a man, when you get into a relationship with a person, even if it's before marriage, those are things that you talk about prior to. Now, if you want to have a kid early, that's your, prerogative. But at the end of the day, if things go wrong or go, awry, you got to figure out, okay, well, why did we have kids before we even had a solid relationship?
I just think shit happens sometimes, honestly. Like, that's the best way
you're a single parent.
I'm a single mom. I have sex with someone. I have a baby. I would never be with him for any time. I would never be with him.
But let me ask you this. At one point in time, were you in love with him? So you were never in love with him?
No, it was just something that happened.
You do want to be with them and they don't want to settle down.
It was just something that happened. I had sex with my son's father one time and I ended up with a child. So it was just, that's what it is.
That could be looked at as a miraculous blessing though too.
No, my son did become a blessing. He saved my life overall, but it's still, if you look at it from the perspective of, okay, being with somebody, having casual sex, blah, blah, blah. It's like, just sometimes just shit happens.
And you have to
just roll with it and like work it out the best way that you can. Now, if you're in a relationship with somebody and you have a baby with them, I don't think that it's fair to try to force them to marry you all of a sudden just because you had a baby. That should have been a conversation that you had. It should have been something that you put out there on the table. And if it don't work for you, then you gotta keep it moving. If it does, but still you have to respect the person enough to be patient with them, for them to be ready to be, married to you, for them to know that's what they want to do.
I 100% agree with you. And, I think that, obviously it's when things like that sort do happen, whether one night stands or casual encounters and things of that sort that end up, producing children. I mean, you've seen some great children and great experiences come from that. Now, kind of like Terry Crews said on The View, I don't know if anybody had watched that, but he had those controversial statements about, the importance of a child growing up with two parents in the household, and a father can only do certain things to a child that a mother can, and things of that sort. And I kind of do agree with him to a certain extent, because I grew up also with a single mother, and my father, don't get me wrong, he was there, he was present, but he didn't live with us, and I would see him maybe once every 2 weeks or something like that. So I do believe that had somewhat of an impact in the way that I was raised. And as quirky as I came out, you know, had he been there with me the whole time, I do think a lot of things would have been differently. So I think it's important.
I agree with you. Like, as a single parent, I know there's only so many things that I can teach my son.
Yeah.
You know, as far as how to be a man, I can't teach him how to be a man, but I can teach him how to respect women. But my son also has an amazing godfather. So just because someone is not your biological parent, it doesn't mean that there can't be a father figure to fill that role.
Very true.
So he has an amazing godfather where I'd be like, we're the best exes ever. Like, we can hang out, go places, eat dinner. We don't plan on being each other ever. We will never be together.
So you can have a healthy, successful family and lifestyle, even if you're not married.
Exactly.
But they both have to be committed to it, though. Still,
right?
You have to be committed to
and even if one parent is committed, I mean, keep on pushing on. If you, you know, Phoenix didn't have the father figure for her child inside of it, but she found somebody else who could play that role. And so it does show that you can, you know, raise a child up without necessarily having one, because unfortunately, that's not always going to be the case. You're not always going to be able to marry the father of your child, or, you know, be with the mother of your child, or whomever. But one person who got it right, who actually did do it right, was Gloria Govan, and I'm so excited to talk to her later, because she was.
I thought she was here. I was like, oh wow!
And they were married.
She's on the way. They were not married. She was
now
with
before
Matt
she
Barnes.
comes. Her child was with Matt Barnes.
She had 2 twin sons with Matt Barnes, and she was with him for a very long time, for years before they actually got married. And they have a successful relationship, and probably the envy now of all of Hollywood and NBA, because she's a great girl. But I can't wait until we hear her personal testimony about, you know, how that experience was, because it couldn't have been, you know, easy, but they did have a commitment to each other.
And we got to watch some of that play out on the show. It's a Basketball Wives.
Yes,
LA.
Basketball Wives.
Yeah,
I never saw it, but
we got to watch some of her story play out about her feelings towards marriage, and she was at the point where she actually wasn't ready to get married when he was, and vice versa. They had 2 different times where they both weren't ready. So it took them, you know, a lot of time for them to come back around to it. So that was a pretty cool story.
And how long have they been?
I'm not exactly sure. Do you know how long they've been married? Maybe like a year or 2?
Yeah, I feel like it's been like 1 or 2 years. We'll find out exactly.
Maybe he just needed
details.
some time to sow his royal oats or something. You know?
I think they both needed to do that.
Yeah, you know.
They took turns.
And, you know, honestly, I think that as crazy as it sounds, you know, in some situations that can be healthy. You know, a lot of times people condemn that kind of thing, but I'm like, you know, if that's going, ultimately, if you're looking at the bottom picture, which is I want to be with this person and be happy with them for the rest of my life and have a great functioning relationship, however you lead to get to that point, doesn't matter. If you have to, you know, screw half of China, whatever is, I didn't even know why I said that, but whatever you have to do to get there is your, you know, is up to you.
Now,
but
this
as long
is
as
the
you get
next
there.
question that I'm going to pose to you guys. How important is the wedding? Because if somebody is saying, yes, I will marry you tomorrow, but let's just go to the courthouse, and the wedding's not important to them, but it's really important to you. Do you overlook the wedding, the $20,000 or $40,000 or $100,000 ceremony, in order to get the person who you're in love with to put a ring on it?
I think that people need to be conscious of why they're having a wedding, because weddings are very expensive. And if you're willing to take on the burden of the money that it's going to cost you to pay all that back from that one day, and if it's worth it to you, I want my wedding. It's like, I want my wedding. I
like most women.
I want the experience of a wedding.
Yeah.
You know, like, and however I work that out, whatever, you know, time I am in my life, I don't know if I'm gonna be extravagant or if I'm just gonna want it really quaint and simple. I don't know. It just depends on how I feel.
And so I'm the opposite. I don't want a wedding. I don't want the work, the trouble, the financial obligation.
See, that's what bridesmaids and the maid of honor, they do all of those things for you.
But it's stress for everybody on a day that's supposed to be, you know, joy and happiness and celebration. It really turns into just a big circus show. I have no desire to plan or even hire a wedding planner or do any of the above.
Depends on
Funny,
your
Spicy saying that, and I guarantee you she gonna have one of the most extravagant, elaborate weddings ever. There's gonna be horses there. She gonna come in on a helicopter. It's gonna be this big. TMZ and E Online are gonna do a show on it.
No,
I think it's the perspective of it. It depends on the person. Like, I don't think weddings are stressful. People make them stressful.
Yeah.
But like, I love creating events and bringing stuff to life, and and doing that stuff. So that's something I will enjoy more so than make a burden of mine. So some people don't like to do all that.
Kevin,
so
from male perspective, got to hear this. I know his perspective is going to be crazy.
First things first, you got to look at, okay, what is the wedding for? First things first, the wedding is not necessarily for the bride and the groom. The wedding is for the friends, the family, the guests, everyone that comes to be a witness to see you two get tied together as one. So you have to realize, with the courthouse thing, that's cool, but a lot of times your friends and family want to celebrate that moment with you. So you got to keep that in front of your mind. Also, another thing is, you see too much focus on the wedding and not the marriage. And there's people that spend more time planning the wedding than getting the premarital counseling
I think
going up to it. And that is so damn imperative, because I'm gonna tell you something. There's no way on earth I'm going to spend $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 on a wedding and we're going to get a divorce. That's not going to happen. I mean, if we went to the courthouse, and I'd be like, okay, that's one thing. I didn't spend that much money. You can do what you do. But I believe that if you're going to invest that amount of money, time, just the money alone, that's a lot of money.
So some of our audience might not be familiar with premarital counseling. Can you explain that a little bit, Kevin?
That's awesome.
Yeah, premarital counseling, it pretty much varies. A lot of time it depends on what religion you practice and things of that sort. There's all different kinds of variations that go into it. Even if you're not religious, there's still premarital counseling that you can take and get into. Most of the, at least most of my friends that have gotten married have gotten premarital counseling from their pastor at their church or some kind of seminar or class that he referred them to. And it usually takes place about, I don't know, anywhere from 4 to 6 months prior to the actual wedding. And basically they just try to help you prepare for what marriage life is going to be like. And they, give you a very, comprehensive, class on how to deal with certain things, how to react to certain things, and things of that sort. So I think it's beneficial.
I think it's awesome. And I think it's important also to continue marriage counseling throughout your marriage, so that you can keep that communication open so that people can continue to learn about each other, take out time to just sit and do nothing but talk to each other. Because life gets crazy and very, very busy to where we start to lose time.
Especially when kids are involved.
Yeah, we start to lose a whole lot of time. And it's like, when do we just sit and we just talk? What do you like? What's changed in your life? Because a lot of times as time goes on, as we change, we have to renegotiate what we like and what we don't like in our relationships. And I've said this before. Yeah. Like, you got to renegotiate some things because you change and you grow. Yeah. So I think it's important to do that with your partner.
And most important, you have to have great sex in your marriage. Most important thing above all, you have to have great sex.
I think it's important to continue to date.
Well, yes, that is true.
Dating and sex. Sex is a huge part because you're also...
Some people don't like it.
But you're releasing...
Some people don't like sex.
The hormones that are released when you're having
a lot of sex,
the bonding that happens between it, the toxins that are released, everything that happens during sex actually brings you closer to your partner. There's a lot of oxytocins that are released that you need that. Sometimes to just de-stress. And if your partner is the one that can do that for you.
But do you mean, Phoenix, do you mean people just have low sex drives?
Yeah, a lot of people, they don't care as much. Like, I know a lot of people.
Wow.
That
they need to, are they watching the show?
I'm going to send it to them, but I can't mention them, but I got to send them the link. They don't have as much sex. Like, they're married and they don't have a lot of sex. So like, when I'm having a conversation with them, I'm like, how can you lay in the bed with somebody like consistently and you guys are not like having sex, or you haven't had an orgasm? That makes me confused. So there are a lot of people that have gotten married straight out of high school who are Christian or of another religious background that I was told to get married when I was younger in order for me to have sex.
Or they got married for the kids.
But the ones that I know, they got married for religious reasons, and so they weren't allowed to express, grow, sow their royal oats, get to know themselves or their bodies sexually. So sometimes if you don't really know your body sexually, you don't know what you're really missing out on.
It's not a priority.
So I guess my question then, that's a very interesting thing you bring up. So then I guess my question is, for those that do get married that may be virgins or just not very experienced, shall we say, You're saying chances are that because of their lack of experience or sexual activity prior to marriage, they're not going to have that fire, desire, or passion for it when they get married?
I can't say that they won't have that fire, desire, passion for it because everybody's different. There's some people that have it and they're just like ready to go. I've been waiting.
It's just
some
not a
people
priority.
Don't. Yeah, because they like what you don't know. You know, you don't really miss as much. So like if you're having random, you know, if you're having regular sex, I'll call it regular.
She's like, instead of random.
Instead of random, regular sex is not very creative. Like I like creative sex, like creative. But regular.
Well, that's how you keep the spice in the relationship.
Yeah, I like playing dress up. I like just doing random stuff.
So what is the craziest outfit you ever wore?
We have to talk about
Saran
that
wrap.
Come on.
No, I mean,
was that booty call when tell me that?
I've had so many outfits that I don't know if I just have a favorite. But I think I like the naked with the heels, and then you kind of just like, and I just walk around and wash dishes or do something random to where I'm acting like you're not even there.
Or just cooking his dinner naked.
Like, yeah, just acting like you're not even there. I'm ignoring you,
but
I'm prancing around just doing stuff, cleaning, and you know, like I like teasing.
Now, what do you think happens in a relationship when you do get serious or get involved with them? You guys winds up getting married, and now you're not having sex anymore. What do you think is the cause or main component?
So you guys have been having sex prior to the marriage,
and then
you just
there is this myth that once you get married, your partner doesn't give it up anymore. Where does that myth come from?
That passion and that spice, it becomes like neutral. Like you don't even care anymore. Everything becomes normal. It becomes consistent. There's no spice. Nobody's dating anymore. Nobody, you know, you're not making it a priority to still date and do all those things that you did when you were getting to know that person and dating them. So then it changes.
So somebody who I know for a fact has made it a priority is in the building. She has kept the spice in her relationship and had the kids, has the man, got down the aisle. Nice little ring and career as well. We have Gloria Govan in the building, everybody.
I'm so sorry.
Hi. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Yes,
how you doing?
I'm good.
You're just gonna put these things on?
Wear underwear, huh? No, I'm just kidding.
What was that? Oh.
Hi.
Welcome.
Scoot in.
Let me turn her mic around.
Here.
Wait, her headphones aren't plugged in.
By the way, I'm not.
Oh,
there we go.
Put your back into it.
Well, you know,
he knows how to do
her mic's not plugged in.
her mic. Okay.
Where is it?
Perfect. Just bear with us here. A few technical difficulties, but we're gonna make it do what it do. Because that's what we do on.
More than that, Kevin.
What was that?
I didn't think I'd have to come out of the booth to help this one out.
Here on BHO, we have a lot of nifty
Phil,
surprises.
that's why you're the perfect
I was
wingman.
waiting for your glory moment.
Get back where you belong. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so as we told you guys, we have a special guest in store. Gloria Govan is in the building. We've been talking about love, marriage, and sex. And we're having a debate right now on, you know, what happens, why is it that couples have it hot and heavy, and then once they walk down the aisle and they get that ring, it just fizzles out. Where does that come from? Because I know that can't be the case for you.
No, well, I mean, honestly, you know, Matt and I have been together 7 years. We've known each other for like 15. But, you know, there are times in that 7 years where there have been like periods where it's like, you know, once a week, maybe. And I'm like, come on, dude, give me some room. You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro, we just did it. And he's like, 2 weeks ago. I'm like, really? I felt like it was yesterday. No, but, you know, honestly, I just think life really takes over. You know what I mean? Especially if you have kids. Kids is a whole different ballgame. But, if, for example, if you don't have kids, I think people also too get comfortable. You know, you're not, when you get married, I feel like you've won. So you're like, woo, let me, you know what I mean? Let me wear my hair wrapped to sleep, you know? So I feel like people start to just really get comfortable and they forget about the important things that led them there.
Now,
Exactly.
I'm curious. You said when you have kids, that brings it into a different ball game.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of ball games, you were married to a professional athlete that plays in ball games.
I am.
So how do you guys keep the sex alive when he's gone about 6 months out of the year and possibly longer if they make the playoffs?
Right, you know, he's gone a lot, but, you know, we have Skype. Thank heavens for Skype. You know,
So y'all do the whole
yeah, we have to get really creative. You know what I mean? So, and there are times where I'm like, you just really have to like let your guard down because no one's really. I mean, I wasn't comfortable in front of a computer. You know what I mean? You're like, what? Do I really look like that? You're like, what is going on?
And then Siri starts getting involved. Now it's a threesome with Siri.
Yeah, no, for real.
Siri be talking during that? Oh Lord.
No, but it's the best when you're like FaceTiming or something or Skyping and like your iCloud messages pop up.
Oh yeah, yes.
And it's like it'll say something absolutely out of control, like tennis practice tomorrow. You're like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. Oh yeah. So anyway, what were we at?
The business.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's we have to do we get really creative. A lot of phone sex, send pictures.
Well, earlier we were talking about one of Hollywood's favorite Latinas, Eva Mendes, is pregnant right now with Ryan Gosling's baby.
He's so fly.
I know. See?
Ooh.
And and they're not married yet. And so
Right.
we were kind of talking about, how long do you stay with somebody before they propose? And then we referred to your situation because you were in it to win it. You were like, I love this man. I have two kids with
This
him.
gonna be mine.
Yes. And you wrote it out. And then he got down on one knee.
Yeah.
So
he
how did you
did.
do? How did you get to that process?
Well, I mean, I feel like marriage nowadays isn't taken as like seriously as it used to be. Like
Exactly.
my mom and dad have been married 46 years, 9 kids.
Wow.
Like they're not playing,
a long
so
time.
They're
feel
on their
like
10th one right
they
now.
are. Exactly, as we speak now. But I feel like marriage really isn't taken like it's not like a must. Back in the day, if you were married, by the time you're like 16, 17, it was like, oh, your life is over. Now
Yeah.
I think women especially are taking a lot of more time into their own lives and careers and really like I need to get myself established first. And if that means kids first, then I feel like they're okay with that. For example, Courtney, is it Courtney? She's going on her 3rd child with Scott.
And they're not married.
They're not even talking about marriage. They're like, we're over it. And Matt and I had the kids before. And, I was like, we both come from, married families and homes and stuff like that. But there are also times where I was like, listen here, if this don't work out, it's all right. You tied to me anyway.
Well,
So-
did one of you guys want to get married before the other and you were just waiting on him or he was waiting on you? What was the process like that?
Well, we actually we broke up our first wedding. We like
Called it off?
it off. Yeah,
Wow.
2 weeks before we were supposed to go down the aisle. So that was different. I feel like neither one of us were ready. And then the second time, he wanted to get married more than I did. Like I wanted something really small. Like the Vegas thing was perfect for me. I was like, cool, pound it. You know what I mean? Boom,
You can do drive-through marriages there.
Exactly. I was like, let's just pick it up. Like it's all good. But he wanted to do the really big. Like that meant a lot to him. His mom has passed away, but that meant a lot to her as well. So I feel like he was really kind of like in it for his family and that kind of stuff. And at the end of the day, we loved it. I had a blast. It was a great time planning it and that kind of stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like he was more in it than me, and not to say that I wasn't, but I don't know. I just feel like marriage nowadays just really isn't like that. Like,
The same.
yeah, it just doesn't mean the same either. I mean, divorce rate is crazy.
So we had you in here before on our sister network for AfterBuzz TV, Basketball Wives. You are no longer on Basketball Wives, Los Angeles, and we went in on you on the show. We wanted to get down to the nitty gritty, but you moved on past that. So I want you to talk a little bit about what you're doing now as, not just Matt Barnes' wife, but as a mother and successful woman. I see you hosting and acting and a book now. Tell us what's going on.
I have a cookbook which is actually in its 3rd reprint, which I'm really excited about. So it's like 3,000 copies have been sold, and I'm really excited about that. And we're working on our 2nd one.
Isn't it a fusion of like Mexican and Italian and
is.
black food?
What's the name of it?
A Mixed Girl's Favorite Recipes.
A Mixed Girl's Favorite Recipes.
Where can people find that?
It's on Amazon and it's
Okay.
in stores now. And it's on our website, mixedgirlsfavorite.com. But it is a fusion. It's a fusion of Matt is black and Italian, I'm black and Mexican. So we have soul food, Mexican food, Italian food, and all the recipes come from like our heritage, our family. So it was really fun. It was like a 2-year process. It was nuts. I didn't think it was going to take that long. But
Now, are all the recipes in there original or?
yeah, they're original from our families. So
Wow.
yeah, and it's really cool because we have pictures of like all of our family members. All the recipes are named after someone in our family.
Oh,
So
wow, that's cool.
It's really cute. I like it. I'll show you guys. It's fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to see it.
What is your favorite recipe in there?
My favorite recipe is the enchiladas, the chicken
That
enchiladas.
enchilada. You said that fast. That enchilada. Okay. The
You're like,
enchiladas.
Cucamonga, what? No,
Right?
the enchiladas are my favorite. They're the hardest to make and they take forever, but I love Mexican food.
Me too.
Yes. I got the hips to prove it too.
Me too.
Oh yeah, no, we both.
Right?
We're from San Diego, so we love Mexican food.
Yes, no, Mexicans. It's Matt's favorite too. So, but we always have a good time. He can cook. Matt can cook.
So you got
Yeah.
a man that can cook too.
I do. I know.
That's always a bonus.
Yeah, he's not. He's a pretty cool guy.
What is Matt's best dish that he makes?
That he can make.
Yeah.
Oh man, he makes really good chicken tacos, and I know that sounds like it's not like a lot, but he like boils the chicken and seasons it like for like 2 days.
Dices everything.
Oh, wow. He pre-plans that chicken.
He goes hard. So, and then he puts Parmesan cheese on the outside of the shell.
Ooh, that does sound good.
Bomb.
How do you do that?
It's awesome.
Make it stay.
Yeah, it's a lot of grease.
Oh,
but
got it.
yeah, you flip it, and but he does it all, and they're really, really good. They're our favorite.
And I've had your
I'm
tacos
getting hungry.
before too. Your tacos are good
thanks.
also. I remember those tacos.
I'm about to say,
We gonna have to get invited for tacos.
I know.
And I've been seeing a lot of, I don't know if you're still eating those tacos, because I've been seeing a lot of posts on Instagram and in social media of you on the red carpet, of you and
good.
your hot body. You're also getting really into fitness. You've been in for a while, but now it seems like you're going harder than ever. Do we have any photos of her, Phil, that we could pop up?
I just stand up. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just
yeah,
kidding.
I mean, just look how good
awesome.
she looks. Like, she's
thank you.
sexy.
Speaking of hot on the red carpet, I was actually hosting a red carpet event, the SV's Body one.
Oh, yeah, the body issue.
And I saw
Yeah.
you and Matt there, and you guys just walked past it and give me an interview. But you looked absolutely amazing.
Oh, thank
and
you.
you guys both did together.
Thank you.
Do you dress him, or does he have a stylist,
No,
or
he
how
has
does
a
that work?
stylist, but it's funny because this weekend his stylist was out of town, and he had options,
Yeah.
He was like, and so Matt was like, "What do you think? Should I do?" And I was like, "It was cute. We kind of we help each other out because even with the blue dress that I wore to that,
Yeah.
That looked awesome.
Thank you.
It was amazing,
I was like,
yeah.
should I wear
Crispies, I
this?
think.
Should wear
I
that?
saw.
So,
But you have a stylist,
have.
no?
No.
Wait, you're doing it yourself?
Yeah, I just I don't know. I pay attention to Instagram, and I'm like, oh, what's good?
Wait, if you do your own makeup, wardrobe, all that stuff?
I do my own wardrobe.
Oh, wow.
Lord, no, I do not do my own makeup or anything like that. Or hair. I can't do hair. See how my hair is right now? I can't do hair to save my life. That's why I don't want a daughter. But I'm like, I don't even like to do my own hair.
Wait up, do I see a nip?
Yeah, there's my nipples.
There is.
Okay,
wow.
not that I was looking already.
That's hot, though.
Yeah, no, I totally, I did that before Rihanna did that. Thank you. No, I'm just kidding.
No,
but
you look phenomenal.
seriously.
I'm just now
good.
noticing the nip.
I didn't even notice it. Thank you, Kevin.
Hey, I'm very observant. What can I say?
Turn
You know,
real quick. Wait, what?
Wait, but those are some nice nips, though.
Oh, thank
Yeah,
you.
that's good.
This is all the gym.
I feel like you are getting a little bit more risque too with your clothing and the photos that you're posting and stuff, and it has to be a reflection of how hard you're working on your
Yes,
body.
absolutely.
Is that something you're doing just for health, or is that something you're doing to keep the spice in the relationship? You just want to look good for your man? Like, where did this come from?
Yeah, a little bit of both. I mean, I obviously had the kids. I gained 100 pounds. I remember I told you that. I gained 100 pounds and I had the boys. It took me forever to lose the weight. Yes.
100 pounds.
Crazy.
Pounds. And so I was like, I gained 2 of me because I was like one.
You must have been like a walking Oompa Loompa
Wow.
or something.
Huge. My little feet were so okay. So anyway, but yeah, so it took time.
Wow.
But it's really become a lifestyle now. Like at first, I was doing it really just to kind of stay fit. And like you guys know, Matt's a basketball player. He travels a lot, and I'm like, he sees beautiful women every day. So I don't want him to come home and be like, oh,
Yeah.
this girl.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
right.
Like, so I was like, let me keep up with myself. And then it just became, I fell in love with it. I fell in love with working out. I work out every day, and I feel like my fashion or like my wardrobe is more of a reflection because I just feel sexy. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna wear.
He's like, I'm gonna wear that.
I ain't gonna wear no bra.
You do.
How about that?
And I just want to say
Yeah.
something real quick to piggyback on that. You just said something that I wish every woman in America was listening to. You have to stay desirable to your husband, to your mate.
Absolutely.
Sometimes you get married. One of you guys said you throw on the
you're right,
whatever.
the hair wrap.
And you just don't care. You gain weight, things of that sort. But I love what you said.
thanks.
He's exposed to beautiful women, so I'm gonna be
Every
sexy
day.
as well.
Yeah.
And I like that. And men, you should do the same thing
Yeah,
as well.
and two, you don't want him to start looking crazy.
Yeah,
Like, ooh,
yeah.
you
It
need
goes
to
both
walk.
ways. It goes
Yes.
both ways.
No,
So-
I saw something on Instagram. It was hilarious. It was about men. It was like, if you don't have a Calvin Klein body, don't expect me to have a Victoria's Secret body. So I was like,
Yup.
you know what I mean? Because
Yup.
it just goes the same way. And Matt,
And like your Rick Ross.
Well,
But go
you
ahead.
have naturally curly hair though, right?
I do.
Okay,
yeah.
so I saw something on Instagram that says, get yourself a curly-haired mixed girl, because when she straightens it, now you got 2 bitches.
That's true. Because then you look
Oh my
completely different.
God.
Right, now
No,
you got
I know.
else.
And it was
That is
funny because for a minute there, I did again with my. It's always a hair issue, but I like cut my hair. I dyed my hair blonde, like, and so Matt was every time he was on a road trip, he would come home and he was
Different.
like, damn, who are you?
It was interesting probably to him.
Yeah,
He's like,
it
I
was
like that.
fun. So it was always like he was always kind of like, oh, what am I gonna come home to now? And I'm like, just wait.
I think we have a
you'll
picture of
see.
you and
I
Matt as
know.
well. Bill, can we pull up a picture of them?
I want to stay on the nip pitch right
We gotta
there.
show them happily in love.
Oh, it's so pretty.
This is everybody's dream.
Oh, thank you.
This right here, like this, I always told you I'm a huge fan of twins. So the fact that you
Yeah.
have them.
They're in the back.
Are you guys, oh, yeah, they're here. I wish you would have brought them on. I would love to see them.
They're too cute.
But are you guys planning on having any more?
We are actually. We're gonna do IVF because I actually want another set of twins.
Wow.
Yeah.
Boy or girl?
Boy and girl.
BHL,
Oh, boy
let's
and
talk
girl.
about
Yes.
sex
Wow.
exclusive.
Yeah, so I mean, these two
Wow.
were natural. They kind of popped out of nowhere, but they're gonna be 6 in November, and I feel like if I have one, they're just gonna be like an only child. They're gonna be like raised by wolves. So I'm like,
So you're gonna have
how do
4.
yeah, I'm gonna go from 2 to 4.
What?
How do you balance working and doing all that stuff? Him being gone some of the time and
Oh my goodness.
balancing being a parent and because it's kind of single parent esque
Yes,
when he's
very
gone
much.
and wanting to have more kids. Like, where does that
You're
pop into your
right.
mind? Because I have one.
More
I have one. I'm like,
responsibility.
Right. You're like,
who?
ooh,
I
2
don't
more.
know. It makes me breathe funny. I'm like, I don't know if I could do it. But how do you balance all of that and still be so goal driven?
Oh, it takes a village. Honestly, I have the best support system. Like my mom is amazing. I have the boys have a really good, trustworthy nanny that they've had for a really long time. But Matt and I are on the same page. Like you said, it is a lot of times I'm by myself. I mean, and that's not to say that I don't have help, but he's gone a lot. And honestly, I know that what he's doing is for the family. It's
Exactly.
not like he's out. What I
Just
mean?
gone
Yeah,
for no
just
reason.
gone for absolutely no reason. I mean, when he's gone, he's missing home. He calls all the time. He's an amazing father. Hands
And when he's
down.
here,
awesome.
he is always
he's
with
brilliant.
you.
Yes.
Like, every time I see
Yeah.
you on the
Yeah.
red carpet or even at events,
there.
you guys are 2 peas in a pod.
We
like,
are. He's always
together.
been ball
yes.
and chain, girl. Ball and chain.
No, but I love you
Come on,
guys'
let's
love. You guys represent each
you.
other very well.
Yeah, we really do support one another, and that's taken us a while to build as well. It became a lot of trust. And I think that we realized that not only do people like to see us together, but we. I feel like we're just a power couple. We're really like making moves together and speaking about things that we're doing. We have a production company. I have 2 movies coming out this summer. We have a
Oh, what are
That's
these
awesome.
movies?
It's called one's called Grow House. Yes, it's about weed. It's with the creator of DJ Pooh, who created Friday.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we have another one. It's a spoof of The Purge with Cat Williams.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's going
it's
to be
gonna be
hilarious.
Hilarious.
Oh, it's funny. It's just great.
Hilarious.
Yeah, so we have those 2 coming out this year, and we have a comedy show called Uncontrolled Comedy, and it's actually going to go on tour in October. So we're grinding.
Big
You
things
guys
in the
have
works.
charity
Yeah.
too. The Athletes versus Cancer
do.
charity.
Athletes versus Cancer. They're actually doing their 2nd annual flag football game with Snoop.
Okay.
Matt is on some straight vengeance because Snoop won last year. So he's like, and football's actually Matt's first sport, so he's really
okay.
like on a mission.
Wait,
but,
so how are you going to do all these things with babies eventually on the way?
I be going. I didn't gain all my weight with the first pregnancy until like the last 2 months.
So
I
you've
was
Yeah.
researched
Yeah.
though the in vitro process.
I have, yeah.
And what's to stop you from possibly getting more? Because sometimes it's not exact every time. You might get like 6
What do you end up with 4?
Mess around and be octo. Yeah, that's what I'm about to say.
Then rest around be 6 feet under. 'Cause I'm quit. I'm gonna be like I can't do it. I don't know. Honestly, this might be TMI, but it's too late.
No, we want to know.
I
we
have
do.
soft eggs.
What does that mean?
It means that I have a higher percentage of,
okay.
of my eggs splitting. That's why I have these 2.
Ah.
So I don't know. So I don't.
I hope
So
I have RD eggs.
That means quadruple.
I'm about to say, yeah.
So I have a chance of having quads. Basically, it told me is the risk.
Whoa.
Like, so I was like, well.
Is it worth the risk to you though to have a large family like that?
Yeah, I'm the youngest of 9, so
Oh, wow.
I come from a really big family. I'm Mexican. I feel like this
Yeah,
is what
fertile.
we do.
You're fertile.
Yeah, Matt can sneeze. I'm like,
Right? Super fertile. Now,
That's awesome though.
do you think you're going to put the stop on 4, or do you think there's a possibility?
Oh, yeah, no. I'm gonna be like, listen here, tie that up in a knot. Yeah, snip it.
Tie it up.
Matt too. Go ahead and put him under.
Vasectomy.
Exactly. I'm done after those 2. And he wants a girl. I told you I don't want a girl. Let me tell you guys something.
So if you have one, are you going to do it again and try to get one more?
Yeah, probably, but like back to back, because I don't, I don't want to be pregnant that many times. I'm like, Lord Jesus.
Yeah.
Getting you to bounce back the first time was
Right.
like great, but then it's like the second
It's
and third, it
time.
gets harder and harder.
Yes,
Maybe because she's
no.
more in shape now and you're doing more
That's
stuff
another
that you
reason.
won't get. It won't be so hard
I'm hoping
to kind of bounce back.
Yeah, no, I'm hoping. My sister bounces back like a damn rubber band, and I just didn't get that.
And she has
gene.
4, right?
Yeah,
Laura
she
has
has
4?
4. Yeah, 4 back to back to back.
Listen to all this.
just
I'm
saw
glad
her
I'm
like
not a
2
woman.
I know, right? I'm like,
I am
ooh,
so happy.
My things to stretch.
Bounce back body.
Seriously.
I mean, that's a responsibility and a bond that only a mother can understand, but it's a blessing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I'm really. I mean, it's gonna be. I'm excited. I am excited. Matt's been asking for more for like 3 years, so I'm like, okay, all right, fine.
So how much practice are you guys putting in before?
a lot of
Because what if you
practice.
do it
No,
on your own? What if you don't need the in vitro?
Well, see, that's another thing is, like I said, I'm super fertile. I have the ¿cómo se dice? The thing that's in.
IUD?
Oh,
Yes,
the IUD.
The IUD. Oh, love the IUD.
All the moms have it.
I don't even know. I have no idea what an IEOD is.
No, it's an IUD.
He's like the IOU, the
uterine
what?
The
device.
OPP? What is this?
Right.
All right.
So this is
birth
going to be a
control.
little sex ed.
Right.
Explain the IUD. It's a like little clip that you put inside your.
Yeah, it's a little like
cervix.
prong, right? So it's kind of looks like a Y, and it goes up your cooter.
Oh.
Sorry,
Cooter? I've never heard that word before.
What? You're welcome. Yeah, it goes up your cooter, and basically you can choose 5 or 10 years. So basically, just drops birth control. You don't have to worry about taking a
Exactly.
pill or the ring or the patch.
Now,
or
there's a
a
lot
But
of
isn't that
side
scary
effects.
though? Like if you do it
There's
for
2 different ones.
Yeah, 2 different ones. I've had both. One has more hormones than
Hormones.
the other, and I don't do well with hormones. I could get really dry. Boom, TMI, but hey.
Yeah, no, it's for real.
Birth control
No,
is
I
a side
understand.
effect.
Yeah.
It makes you more dry though.
It does. And so I got the one with no hormones,
hormones.
so I'm good. Back to wet box.
So you wet? Okay.
Now, are there any other
I
side
had that
effects? Because I know people who have had it. Then there was a lot of UTIs and yeast infections
got a lot
and
of that.
BV that they were getting because of the insertion.
Yeah. No, the UTIs are like
Yeah.
they were common for the first like year, and then they slowed down. Yeah, but I think it's just your body getting used to, and then of course with the penetration, it doesn't help, And Matt's always like on a mission to find the thing. I'm like, listen, you can't. It's surgically put in there, mother.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Stop trying to. So he's, He does extra, but
You would recommend it, though, the
I
IUD?
love it. I love
It works.
Yes.
And so when it's time
yeah,
to
right?
It works.
So you can't
so
have them right now.
nice.
You can't have babies right now because
I
of
cannot,
IUD.
right. I
So
have
when
to-
it's time, when you guys decide September 12th, I
Right.
want to have a baby, you just pull it out.
Yes.
You go to the
Well,
doctors,
yeah.
they'll take it out.
Yeah, they got to take it out, and then like that day, I'm gonna go get pregnant by IVF because if
Yeah.
not,
That
I'm
day?
gonna
You're
be
that
pregnant.
fertile.
Yeah,
'Cause
you're that
it just
fertile. It's crazy.
scrambles the.
Wait, how are you that fertile that day?
Because it like you're always like ovulating anyway, so you're there, but like you already have. You could tell your doctor, I plan on getting pregnant and whatever. So they'll take it out at the time that you're ovulating, so you already have eggs available.
So do you have your normal cycles? Yeah.
Yeah,
When you-
but again, side effects like for me,
Yeah.
I'm not a heavy bleeder anymore, so I just wear panty liners.
TMI, but thank you.
Yeah.
For us
thing.
women,
He's
we
like-
appreciate this information.
Yeah,
There's
it's
a lot of
good.
people at home that are having unprotected sex right now
Yeah, don't do
because
it.
and not using birth control,
Right.
and because they're scared of the hormones or the side effects. So this is great information for any of our audience that's looking for birth control
Yeah.
that can help prevent instead of just popping out babies.
Yeah,
Now
there's
they're
no
on like
reason.
number 6 and
Right,
still
right,
haven't got it
right.
together.
Yeah, no, I just, and it's cheap and it's one time. You don't, like
Yeah.
I said, you don't have to worry about like consistency or same time every day. You know what I mean? You can do your thing. Do your thing. Protect it.
I mean, it's really good, and it has a little. I think it's Paragard, I believe it's what
Yes.
it's called. It has a little copper. I have
Copper,
it.
yeah,
It has a little
copper
copper
foil.
thing around it, and it basically confuses sperm from basically finding your eggs. So when you pop it out, it
a
basically
guard.
we just go on in. We know where we're going now.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's all it is. It's not affecting your body chemistry. I mean, it does
Wow.
some things. I did get the UTIs a lot, but my period is like one day.
Now,
Right?
No, it's like
Love
it
it.
changed.
We get nasty on Let's Talk About
was about
Sex
to say,
because this is a sex show. But I really want to know,
But
can you
it
still
works.
use tampons
This is-
though with it?
Yes.
No, it's in your it's in
Yeah.
your cervix. It's not like
It's not like-
inside. You can't reach it.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. No, Matt just tries. He just tries.
It's in your cervix. Your cervix is like pinched like this, and
Yeah.
it's stuck into your cervix, like in there.
Kevin, this
you
is
can't even
good
get to
information.
it.
You know,
for you.
as much as I love the female genitalia area, this is just a little overwhelming right here, okay? I'm learning some interesting things, but
awesome.
Yes, it is.
Every married person I know has
Especially when
it.
you're in a relationship, because then you don't have to worry about like condoms or like I said, or you
Yeah.
know, someone pulling the goalie. You're like, girl, did you take your? You don't have
Yeah.
to worry about any of
you
that.
said
You know
pulling
what
the
I mean?
goalie. I love your
you know-
sage.
Oh,
The
thanks.
cooter pulling the goalie.
Yeah.
These are great. Hashtags.
It works.
Right.
So on next week's episode, we're gonna get into like probably a deep conversation and explain everything from top to bottom as far as masturbation is concerned.
Okay.
And Gloria, you're in a marriage right now, so I don't know if that's something that you have to do often, but when you're married or prior to your marriage, was it something that you ever did?
Masturbate myself? No, I never got into that. I've tried it, but maybe I haven't done it right.
I don't see that
Because
flabbergasts me.
that's one thing that they say keeps the marriage spicy. Is
Right.
playing with yourself and bringing in toys into the relationship.
Yeah, no, we have a lot of toys. We do.
That's masturbation.
Okay. Oh, okay. He like Matt uses them on me. Does that count? But I don't
That's
use-
not.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, that does.
Yeah.
That's masturbation.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, I thought
But I don't
you-
I don't when Matt's not home. I don't
She
masturbate.
doesn't open the toy chest.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
So you only masturbate with your man.
I do. Yes.
I'm just curious. I've never understood this. Why is it that women have such a low drive for masturbation, but men can do it
do it
every
a lot.
day,
Times a
several
day.
times a day?
I'm
And so either women is they're
I think you and I both are
they're
opposite.
lying about their. Go ahead.
I enjoy it, but
Yeah,
I have fun.
if I'm not having any that night and I'm like at home by myself watching, Homeland or whatever, any one of my shows. I used to do it during Basketball Wives. Whatever used to be on all
Yeah.
the time.
But if you do it to
I
the
do
show,
random.
I'll just pull it out real quick. It takes like 2 minutes. It's so much quicker and less messier than sex.
Well,
Yeah, no, it is nice.
wait, you
It's
said it
not-
takes 2 minutes to give you
Even
to
less
get
than
you,
that.
because she
Yeah.
you know your body.
You'd be every
You know what I
man's
mean?
dream.
So-
mine's about that long
Man.
too.
Yeah.
Mine's about that long, like
So-
2 minutes.
so
like,
Phoenix, you
'cause this,
play with it- you
This is what
do?
happens. Like when I'm working a lot and I decompress, and all of a sudden I need affection, or either I'm really horny. So like because I'm not in a relationship, I masturbate a lot. So like I just needed to take some of that energy off. Otherwise, I'm like squinching and I'm like,
There's a lot of tension
I'm just
in your
weird.
body.
I'm uncomfortable. So I just need to decompress that area so that it stops nagging me.
It doesn't have to be a sexual show on or us even be
I could be
like,
I've been riding in traffic.
wait,
I know my body that
While
well.
you're in the car,
I know.
you just took it up a whole nother level there.
Look, I'm just being honest, you
coming
guys.
back
This is a
next
real
week.
show.
That's reckless
I'm being
driving.
honest. It is not, because when I'm in traffic for some reason,
that
I'm
is why
so.
Phoenix was late.
You know what? No, it's not.
That's
But no, I'll be in traffic sometimes.
DWM.
You know
Go
what?
ahead.
I'm done with you.
just saying.
I'm trying to be honest here. Like I will, because I know that I can do it in a certain. I can do it before a light turns green.
So wait, do you like make faces?
How do you-
like,
Okay, I have tinted
roll
windows,
around?
right?
Okay.
They're very tinted.
Right,
so
right.
like
Then
I'll
they'll
lean
say-
back, and
So you use your finger?
No, I don't finger bang
Like
myself.
like a bullet.
How?
No, I
I'm
do it with my
confused.
hand. Like I don't use toys.
So you use your finger.
They make me itch because they vibrate too much, so I start itching. So I don't use the toys.
I like the pulse though.
Don't you-
I'm obsessive.
So I start itching from it. So like I just know how to do it a certain way. I know how to tilt my body a certain way
Right.
to a certain angle to where I know I'm gonna have an orgasm in just like a minute
And
or
if that
so.
doesn't work, our cell
No
phone
wonder
is on
there's so much
vibrate.
traffic out here.
Well, the vibration don't work for me.
So Gloria, that's not something that you have to do often because you're in a long distance relationship,
Yes.
kind of, because
Yeah,
he's
yeah, yeah.
always, playing away.
Yeah.
So you what do you do when you don't have your husband in front of you to get your rocks off? What do you do?
Well, see, I'm so different. Like because I can go when Matt's gone, for example, if he's gone for 2 weeks, I don't have a problem not having sex.
But you're busy though too.
Yes, I know, isn't it weird? But so when he
has
gets
2 kids
home,
and
I'm
she's busy.
like,
That's true.
I'm like, just lay down. I don't even need you. I don't even need you.
Wow.
Grind on your knee. Just go to sleep. You know what I mean? Like I'm not tripping when he gets home. But like, yeah, I feel like because I'm
Yeah.
I am go from
Yeah.
7 a.m. to like 11 o'clock p.m. So I feel like I don't even notice it,
Yeah.
And then when he gets home, I'm like, shit, hey.
Right? It's like you come down off of that
Yeah,
high. It's
yeah.
like you have a moment. You're like,
Oh,
okay,
hey now.
wait a minute.
Yeah, because even when I'm like I just by the time I put the kids down, I'm probably asleep before I hit the pillow. Like I'm comatose. But I don't know. I have girlfriends who, like you said, who do it at the office. Like they do it 2 or 3 times a day. But
gosh.
and before I had kids, I would do it a few times. But I think it's important for women to do it anyway because, like you said, then you just know your body.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know what it takes. You know what you need. And in a healthy way, sometimes you realize that you don't necessarily need a man. I feel like a lot of women get
caught up on that.
Yeah, caught up in sex and it's a bad relationship. So they don't realize they can just take care of themselves.
And guys find it sexy too when you masturbate in front of them.
Yeah.
Very
They
true.
think it's
Yeah,
hot.
Sexy
And you know
also-
what you're doing.
Yes.
And
They
you're in
also feel
control.
like-
like when you're in control, you know what you're doing. They
Right.
think that's hot.
Or when you tell them
See-
like to the left, nigga.
right.
Like,
I need you to move right over there.
Exactly.
Just wait.
Got
Stay
it.
right
Yeah.
spot.
Yeah. You're like, stop. Don't move.
Don't move right there.
Boom.
This is where you're supposed to be.
But this, I was telling Matt the other day because when we have sex, like I came and I was like, whew. I was like, oh, I'm done.
Yeah, Cheetos.
I was like, what about me? And he was like, well, wait a minute. I was like, hold on, you do this to me all the time. So, and then we started actually like talking about it. And I was like, it's not fair because if a guy comes, then it's over. You know what I mean? Like, so you got to find his big toe or his knee, an elbow, you got to like grind on something. But like, if a girl comes, then the guy is like, great. You know what I mean?
Right.
Come again. Come one more time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, first of all, that one took it out of me. You know what I mean? I'm night-night. Gloria's going to go night. But I don't know. I mean, we were just talking about like how unfair that is.
It's super unfair.
I know.
No, not necessarily, because 9 out of 10 times the man has to put in excessive work to get the woman to orgasm. To get a man to
not
orgasm,
true.
it is really not that difficult.
That's not if
There's
not if
one
you're with a
little
woman who
area-
knows her
That's
body.
That's what I'm
If a
saying,
woman
and
knows her
that's why
body, you know how to make
masturbation comes
yourself.
in.
That's
Yes.
why, shoot.
Why she
That's
should
right.
play herself.
Yep, 2
Exactly.
minutes. Boom. Girl
I-
can come faster than a man in a heartbeat.
If I know that you come fast, I know how to make myself come
And
faster.
a woman can come multiple times because a woman
Right.
can come multiple times, either vaginal or clitoral, in multiple ways too.
Yeah, exactly.
It's even sometimes sex is even better for the woman.
Yes.
I guess I've messed with a lot of less experienced women that don't know their bodies or something.
But that's why we have the show. Let's
Man.
talk about sex in order to educate you.
Let's get back to this masturbation thing real quick.
With toys or without toys?
Without, no. Phoenix, you said that men get their rocks off seeing women masturbate. and things of that sort.
Absolutely.
I would feel absolutely excluded, appalled, and offended if I'm right
You
there
don't
butt
have-
naked and a woman is
Kevin,
Look, let me tell you something. Have you ever watched
In
a
other words,
woman
she's like-
who is completely into herself? Not, I'm just gonna lay there and just, hi guys,
It's like, what do you need
I
me
mean,
for?
I tune you
Yes.
out, and I'm in my own world, and it's like it's empowering and strong, and you're doing your own thing, and don't really need you to be there. But I'm kind of showing out for you at the same time.
What?
And I come and it's loud. Like,
Yes.
you don't hold it back and you like just let it all out. They're like, oh, okay, that's what
Right.
you're doing?
Kevin,
Okay,
try
they're
it.
totally turned on.
They
You need
are.
to get some different women that are more experienced that know their
They
body.
are, baby.
Because I'm telling you, that you'll be like, whoa, you're
Yes.
doing that by yourself? Like,
Then
Well, let me
it
ask
makes
this.
you go like,
do women like seeing a man masturbate in front of them?
I'm not particularly a fan of a man masturbating. Watching that, it just does nothing for me.
You don't want to see a like.
I just rather do
I don't
it.
mind him touching himself if evenally I get to be on it.
Right.
Yeah, if
I
that
don't want you to
happens-
come.
Okay.
You're
Yeah.
not gonna come in front
I
of
don't
me.
like
No, that
watching
is
you
over.
come
Okay, yeah.
in your hand. It's just
So you
it
want
doesn't make me
you
feel
want it to
so
be
great.
on you,
It
or-
just be like you can rub up against me. You can
Yes.
move them down. I don't know, do
But
something.
it's the
But
same thing. Why
I
would
need
I want to sit there
contact.
and watch my girl have an
because we
orgasm
know once
and just
you
sit there
have-
and be like, oh,
But you're probably
wow,
you
honey,
have
that
to
looks-
be. Well, you don't have to be, but you
I wanna
should
be
playing
involved.
with yourself at the same time. So a lot of times it's like about kind
like-
of like build up.
like
yeah, it's not like we're not gonna have
And
sex.
women know that
Yeah.
once you come, it's a wrap. But if we come, you can just come.
come.
You can do it
Yeah,
again.
we'll
All you gotta do is
Well,
blow
well,
on it.
hold up,
And
hold
you don't
up.
have to do a lot
Hold
of
up,
work.
hold up.
If
It's
you
not-
say a girl can't come work, I'm gonna introduce you to some
I'm gonna
women.
show you how to. I'm gonna show you how
Feel
to.
free to. I'll give you my phone number after
There's
this.
a
We
way to
can make this-
desensitize it too. Like if a woman comes, because we don't want you to keep going after we do it. If you blow on it, like really cool little wind, it'll desensitize it and you can keep going. Mm-hmm. Just
Okay,
real
and
soft.
makes it more
that's
wet.
a sexual
That
trick
is a
right
spicy
there.
tip right
There we
there.
go.
Yes.
spicy
I'm
tip.
telling you, have you ever tried that? They just blow on it real gently with
the
a cool
ice.
air.
Ice is
So,
good.
so Gloria,
Right back
we
to
have to ask you because we're going to
Oh,
wrap
yeah,
up the
yeah,
show
sorry.
in
Oh, yeah,
just a little
Getting
bit.
good right now,
I know,
too. I wanna keep
I
going.
feel so bad.
Man.
But this is a really good conversation. We're going to have to
Yes.
bring her back, but we have to get to the naked truth before the show ends.
Yes.
And this is where you have to spill the beans. You have to, just give your all, okay?
yeah,
You have to
go ahead.
just bear it. All right, we're going to ask you, have you ever had bad sex with your husband, and
Ooh,
what
that's
did you do to
sexy.
fix it? This is her and Matt right here in this photo.
yeah.
And this is her husband. Have you guys ever had
Did Dwayne
bad
see
sex?
that?
No, honestly, the only time we had bad sex is when I was on the ring, the Nuva ring, and I was really dry, and I felt
I
so
hate the Nuva
terrible.
ring. Everybody
never
has
tried
that
it. I
got
same
pregnant on
experience.
them.
Enough with all these contraceptives, all
I know,
right?
I'm
The
sorry.
Nuva ring,
I never
the
tried
V, the what, the O.
That's a hot
I was
picture.
Thanks, babe. I was so dry that I gave him like cooter burn on his penis. It was terrible.
The Nuva ring drives you out. It
Did you use
creates
lubrication or something?
so much side effects.
Because normally I'm normally very wet, so we
She's
didn't.
letting
we
you
didn't
know
have
she gets
it.
juicy.
Like, yeah. Oh yeah. No, I get wet box quick.
Yeah.
Boom. But but we didn't have it because it was never an issue for us, so we never had lube. But yeah, I felt, and so that was terrible. That was the worst sex, and that was right before the kids. And but we have amazing sex. It's great. Like falls asleep in it.
Big ups, go Matt.
Boom. Like he is. We say all the time, we're like,
Now, did he have to
ew.
learn your body in order to get to that point? Because it
Absolutely.
wasn't always amazing, right?
No, yeah. No, we had to build. I mean, he's very well endowed, so that was never an issue.
You guys heard it here first.
You just put his business all
I
out.
know, poor baby.
But I guess that's a good thing,
Yeah,
though, you know.
He ain't gonna be mad about it.
Okay, now have the kids ever walked in on mommy
They
and daddy?
have. Oh my
and what
gosh.
happened?
It's so embarrassing, guys. It's the worst because, and one time I was blindfolded, so I didn't know what was going on.
No.
All of a sudden, I was like laying on the bed, blindfolded. Matt's doing his thing, and we hear the door because it's locked. And these two are pushing the door and it pops open. And I was like, and Matt throws me. I flip off the bed blindfolded. I'm like, my blindfold's like this. And they're like, what are you guys doing? We hear all this noise. I was like, yeah, Daddy, what are you doing? I was like, stop.
How do you explain that?
Playing.
Yeah, I was just, and then... And Matt, he's all naked. He's like, okay, you guys, let's go to bed. I'm like, first of all, these kids are not 6'8". They go up to his waist. I'm like, get your dinger out of their face. I'm like, that's just not even a joke.
Those poor kids are going to be scarred for life.
My poor babies. They're at it. I was like, so he's
funny.
trying to shuffle them off. I'm like, put a towel on or something.
Oh
I'm
my
like, what is going on?
gosh.
But
She's
they've
like,
done it to
okay,
us
bath
twice.
time.
And both times I've been in a very compromising position. And I was just like,
Ooh.
very
always like
bad.
that.
It's bad. My
You're going to have a lot of explaining to do once they start to understand.
They start to be like, or if they become porn stars, I'm gonna be like, I know where y'all got it from.
Now, you guys haven't given them the let's talk about sex yet spill, have you?
No, but we listen to a very explicit music. We don't really hide. But so one time, one of the kids were rapping a Nicki Minaj song, and they were like, da, 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 in my dick, da, and I was like, whoa. I was like, and he didn't know what it meant.
Right.
But he was
Yeah.
just saying it, and he was just like, what? And I was just like, how do I explain that?
And
this
they're
is a
how old
bad
now?
word? They'll be 6.
They'll be 6. Okay, so
Yes.
maybe
Yeah,
that's
2
too young.
years. Yeah, 2 years we
Yeah.
give them the birds and the bees.
Yeah, we're talking about because right now they give their girlfriends. They have
Wait, they have
150.
girlfriends?
Yeah, every day they have a different
pimping.
girlfriend. They're little pimps.
Pimping,
But they give them these little girls give them kisses or one Isaiah was like,
Yeah.
Amelia, she pulled my hand and we went around and she pulled me around the corner and I was like,
Ooh.
hell no. I was like, I'm coming to volunteer at school. I was like,
I had to start sitting in my son's class.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
talk,
The
girls
the talk
are-
is coming soon.
Yeah, no, and I tell them about girls, you don't touch girls, and you know what I mean, but we've had the kind of molestation conversation, if
Yeah.
someone
Oh,
touches
good,
you
good.
here, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, that conversation. So they're aware of girls have cooters, you know what I mean, men have little, we call it peepees,
Yeah.
So they're aware of the different parts. But I don't think one time Carter woke up with he had a morning wood and he hugged me and I was like,
You're like,
this is
my
really
baby.
inappropriate. I was I felt a little
Yeah.
At 6 and 5?
yes.
Wow.
No,
You're going to have to have the
That's what I
conversation
mean.
with
I'm
them
so
soon.
glad.
I know.
I was like 11.
Oh, my poor babies.
I don't think you might not remember.
Maybe I don't. Who
All right, and
knows?
then last question before we wrap up. Cuddling, eating, or sleeping after sex? After you guys get done with the birds and the bees and the sycamore
Yeah.
trees, what is your go-to?
I'm definitely, I get energy when I have sex. So that's I hate having sex at night because I'll be exhausted. Matt sleeps. I probably eat and watch TV and then read a book. I get so much energy, it's out of control.
You're lifting
I can't
weights,
stand
you're
it.
pumping
Yeah,
iron.
I go to the gym. No, but yeah, Matt goes to sleep, and if it's to the point where it was just amazing, I'll be night. Gloria goes night. Yeah, but we don't cuddle. We used to cuddle all the time, all the time. But now it's to a point where I'm like, "Ooh, you're hot." I'm like, "Get out! Give me some space. You're sweaty. Out of here. Open the window. Do something."
Yeah.
So,
Oh
yeah.
my gosh, Gloria, I'm so happy that you
Yeah.
came on the show.
Oh,
You
thanks.
definitely made this a fun episode and
fun.
revealed
Thank you.
it
Yeah, this was
all.
exciting.
She,
I know.
she
The
bared
funnest-
the naked truth. That's how
I
you
did.
do
We
it.
did.
I am not shy.
That is how you
We
do
appreciate
it.
that.
Yeah,
Appreciate
She's a
it.
reality star too, so you know she keeps it real. So we want to know where all your fans can find you: Twitter, Instagram, your book, and your projects that you have coming up. How can they
Yeah.
find you?
I am at Glow Govan on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. You can find my book at mixedgirlsfavorites.com or Amazon. And all the projects, Black Halo Productions will be coming out this summer. So we have 2 dope movies. You guys have to make sure you come out.
Yes, I want to come to all the screenings, everything. I will be there to support. I am your guys' host, Spicy Madi. You guys can play with my Twitter at spicy_Madi or stroke my Instagram at spicy_Madi, day or night.
And I'm Phoenix White, and you guys can find me on Instagram at instagram.com/PhoenixWhite.
And I'm Kevin John. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at HeyKevinJohn, or my website, it's kevinjohn.com, or up here.
We'll be back next Friday, you guys, with another episode of Let's Talk About Sex. Thank you, Gloria, for coming in.
Yeah. Let's talk about it.
That was fun.
From producers Maria Menounos, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, Kevin Undergaro, and the entire BHL crew, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us at info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I'm your BHL announcer, Scipio. Instagram me at Planet Scipio. Thank you for tuning in.
You ready? Hollywood Redefined, Shotty.
The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.
Thanks for watching Black Hollywood Live on YouTube. For more in-depth interviews and news, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion in the comment section below here. See you soon, everyone. Bye.